Awesome. Good morning, everybody. My name is Jody Janikopoulos. I'm here with Sandy Kurby from COD, College of DuPage. We are doing another installment of a fabulous session that we provide called Midday Desk Stretch. And without further ado, I'd love to get into this. Let Sandy do a little introduction of herself, and she can tell you what we're going to do today a little bit, and then we'll move into some good, healthy stretching. So have a great session, Sandy. As you can see, I'm at desk. I'm here at the Addison Library, so I am going to continue on and probably turn off my camera. So go right ahead.
Welcome, my name is Sandy Kurby. I teach at College of DuPage. I teach a couple of fitness classes as well as some other nutrition courses. One of the classes I do teach is yoga and a gentle yoga class where I've brought in some chair yoga there as well. And everybody seems to enjoy it there. So I'm hoping to bring something different than what we did last time.
Sandy, really quick, could you do me a favor and just mute your music for a second?
Sure, absolutely.
And then maybe speak a little closer to the mic so we can hear what you're telling us. Thank you so much.
Yep, no problem. Thank you. I'll leave that down there. Our music is just more for background noise, so I definitely don't want that to be a deterrent to what we're doing today. But my name is Sandy Kurby. I'm glad you're joining us today. And I do work at College of DuPage. I teach some group fitness classes, some of them being yoga courses. One of them is a gentle yoga where we do some gentle stretchings. We've brought in some chair yoga there as well, some restorative work. And everybody seems to really enjoy some of the desk stretching, especially as a lot of people are moving back into the office or even if they're at home, spending some time either in front of a computer or just going about their everyday, sitting more than standing and getting around. So hopefully some of these stretches are something that you can incorporate into your daily routine and make you feel a little bit lengthened and more stretched and relaxed. So we'll go ahead and get started here. And the first thing I'm going to have you do is sit towards the edge of your chair so that your glutes are still on the chair, but your feet are able to sit down. So if I were in my chair, I'm a short person, I wouldn't be able to have my feet down onto the ground. But we're going to start in a grounding position. So come as close to the front of your chair as you need to, while still having your seat on the chair and your feet down. Hands can be down onto the thighs, just making sure anytime we're never pressing onto the knees. But we're just going to start here, allowing the hips to just kind of move back slightly, the shoulders to move back over the hips. And then we're going to take the ears and move them right over the shoulders. So we're in a really nice posture instead of a hunched forward posture. So everything just kind of comes back into a nice alignment here. Chin is either tilted up a little bit or pulled back a little bit. So again, those ears can come right over the shoulders. A lot of times we have that forward lean, especially with computers, phones, things of that nature. So just holding here with this nice posture, shoulders are down. As we go about our day, a lot of times our shoulders like to move up towards our ears. So anytime you need, always feel free to give things a little bit of a shake out, allow the muscles to relax. So in this position, feel free to let those shoulders roll up, back, down, and away. We're just going to come into our breath. Just taking a nice deep breath in. Exhaling completely. Working with our Ujjayi breath a little bit today. So if you can, inhaling through the nose. Exhaling through the nose as well. Trying to lengthen your breath with each breath you take. Allowing your breath to relax you. And from here, we're just going to start moving into some neck stretches. So all I'm going to do is take my right ear to my right shoulder. You can either mirror me, you can do the same as me. Just one ear to the shoulder, doesn't matter which side you really start with. Just holding here. As you do so, make sure that you're not trying to bring the shoulder up to the ear. Again, keep the shoulders low and relaxed. To help allow the shoulders to relax down, my right ear's to my right shoulder. I'm going to take my left hand and bring it up onto the right shoulder. And I'm going to give that gentle pressure down. So I can just release that away. From here, I'm going to turn my gaze down towards my elbow. So I'm just kind of looking right down towards the end of my elbow. You might feel the stretch lengthen a little bit more. And keeping my gaze in that same position, all I'm doing is taking the hand that's on the shoulder and lowering it back down onto my lap. When you're ready, go ahead, let the chin tuck down towards the chest. And then switch sides. So opposite ear comes over the shoulders. Now I have my left ear to the left shoulder. You're just on the opposite side, whichever way you were going. Again, try not to let that shoulder sneak up to the ear. Try and keep it low and relaxed. Again, to help do so, I'm going to take my right hand onto the left shoulder. Give that gentle release down. I'm going to turn my gaze down towards the elbow. Holding my head in that same position, I'm just going to release the hand back down. Go ahead, let the chin tuck down. And then just lift that up center. I'm going to take both of my hands now, just clasping them together, gently pressing forward. And as I do so, I'm going to round out the shoulders this time. My chin can tuck down again. So stretching through the upper part of the back, stretching between the shoulder blades. Always keep breathing with all these stretches. From here, again, it doesn't matter which side you go to first. I'm going to move over to the right side. So I'm just going to add a little gentle twist over to the right, feeling a little deeper stretch on the left side. Starting to open up through the obliques a little bit, feeling that all through the lats, shoulder blades. And then bring that back through the center and come over to the opposite side. So now I'm going over to the left side, feeling the stretch come through the right side. Go ahead, bring that back into the center. And from here, I'm going to open the hands all the way up. I'm going to bring them behind my back. If the back of your chair is in the way, feel free to turn over to the side. But again, since we were kind of scooted towards the front of our chair, it shouldn't be too much of a problem. I'm going to interlace the fingers behind my back, gently press the shoulders low and away. So I'm, again, creating space between the shoulders and the ears. And then all I'm going to do is lift my hands slightly. It doesn't have to be a big movement, again, so that we don't hit the back of our chair. I'm going to add a slight hinge forward. Doesn't have to be a complete fold here, just a slight hinge. So I can gently pull those shoulders away from the ears, open up through the chest, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Go ahead, release that, just come back up to that seated position. Unlace the fingers, let the hands come back down. I'm going to turn and face you again. You can face whichever direction feels best for you here. We're going to do one more thing with interlacing our fingers. So I'm going to interlace my fingers again. I'm pressing forward, taking a nice deep breath in, lifting my arms all the way up overhead. And this time I'm going to go ahead and lean over to the right side. Again, we'll hit both sides, so it doesn't matter which side you go to first. Keeping both glutes down onto the chair, so I'm not leaning over to the side by lifting my hips up. Hips are staying anchored down. So I'm getting a nice stretch to the side here. Just holding there, keep breathing. Again, sometimes the direction of our head can change our stretch. So all I'm going to do is turn my gaze down towards the floor. Might not notice it quite as much here. I'm going to come back through neutral, and I'm going to look up towards the top elbow or up towards the ceiling. You might feel as if you're reaching over a little bit further. When you're ready, gaze comes back into the center, lift it back up into the center. We're going to go to that opposite side. So again, both hips stay centered down. I'm just reaching over to that other side, holding there, keep breathing. Once again, my gaze can turn down towards the floor. Come back through neutral. My gaze is going to come up towards the ceiling or towards the top elbow. Go ahead, release that back to a neutral gaze, lifting back up, releasing the hands all the way down. You might feel the shoulders, feeling that a little bit from having our arms overhead. So we're going to take one arm, just bring it across the front of the body. Other hand is going to just hold on by the forearm and give that gentle pull in, stretching out the deltoids or the shoulders. And go ahead, release that. We're just going to switch sides. Other hand comes across. Again, gently pull in. And release that down. Opening up the chest. So again, keeping those shoulders over the hips, head back as much as we can here. I'm going to take one arm. I'm going to start with my left arm this time. Taking my arm all the way up overhead, putting a bend in the elbow so that the hand comes down onto the top part of the back. My right hand is just coming up onto my left elbow. And I'm just giving a little bit of a gentle pressure so that I can stretch out through the triceps or through the back part of the arm here. So just holding here, staying tall and lifted. Again, trying not to hunch forward, but staying as open as you can. That way we get a little bit of a stretch through the front of the body as well. And I have my right hand on my left elbow. All I'm going to do is a soft lean over to the right side. So again, I'm just opening up through that side, creating some space all through the rib cage, all through that whole left side. Nice job. Go ahead, bring it back into the center. We're just going to switch arms. So I'm just going to open my arms all the way up. My right hand comes down, left hand comes onto the right elbow. Again, I'm just giving some gentle pressure to get a little deeper stretch. Holding there, keep breathing. Again, don't hunch forward, stay tall and lifted. When you're ready, we're going to start bringing it over towards that left side, where you're moving away from whichever arm is being stretched. And go ahead, release that, bringing it back into the center, releasing the hands all the way down. We're going to move into the wrist just a little bit here, doing some wrist circles. So just holding the hands up, we're just going to start circling the wrists around in one direction. And then go ahead, circle in that opposite direction. Nice job. Go ahead, release that. We're going to start moving towards the legs. So same thing that we did with the wrists, we're going to do with the ankles. I'm going to start with my right leg. So all I'm doing is lifting my knee up off the floor. My hands are coming right behind onto the hamstrings, and I'm just circling my ankle around in one direction. I'm going to scoot my chair back just a little bit for a moment. Circling around in one direction. And then go ahead, circle that opposite direction. Go ahead, release that. Again, we're just going to switch over to that opposite side. So my left foot is going to lift, hands come underneath to help support. So just give that little gentle lift. Circle the ankle around in one direction. And then go ahead, circle in that opposite direction. Job. Go ahead, release that, releasing the foot down. Again, both feet are down onto the floor here, so I might be towards the front part of my chair. I'm going to inhale, lifting my arms all the way up. As I exhale, I'm just going to start hinging forward. You have your glutes on the chair, so you are supported, but the weight's going to be coming down towards the feet a little bit more here. You don't have to be in a complete fold, but you want to have a nice flat back, so we're just reaching the arms out by still keeping those shoulders low and away. So if I were in a yoga position without the chair, this would be my chair pose. So I'm doing the same thing. I just have the support of the chair right underneath the glutes. So I'm sitting back here, keep breathing. And then from here, all I'm going to do is let my arms come down. I'm going to let my hands just reach towards the floor. So I'm just kind of letting my whole body, and I'm going to turn to the side, my whole body just kind of release right over my lap or my legs. Head and neck stays nice and relaxed. In this position, it's fine to have an arch in the spine. We don't need to have necessarily a flat back. We just want to let everything release down towards the floor. Feel free to shake your head yes or shake your head no. Go ahead, roll that all the way up. Coming back into your seated position. We're going to do that one more time. This time when we come back into our fold, it's our fold in chair. We're staying hinged towards the floor, trying to relax the whole body. We did a lot with our hands clasped earlier. We're going to do that same thing if you choose. If you choose not to, that's perfectly fine. Just let everything kind of relax towards the floor. But I'm going to take my hands, just interlace them, and I'm going to be bringing them behind the back of my head. And that kind of allows gravity to help create some space in the top part of the spine here. So when you're ready, before we do that, we're going to let the arms lift all the way up, release those shoulders low and away, and then go ahead and hinge it forward. So we're coming into our fold-in chair or our chair pose here. And then from here, we're going to continue that forward fold, letting the hands come all the way down, releasing the head and neck down. Again, if you want, feel free to stay here. Otherwise, I'm going to interlace my fingers, bring them back onto the lower part of the head. Gently allow gravity to kind of just release everything down towards the floor. Go ahead and unlace the fingers, letting the hands come down. And once again, just roll that all the way up. Coming back to your seated position. Roll those shoulders all the way back. I'm going to turn back and face you once again. From here, all I'm doing is taking my right foot, stepping it forward. So my toe is up towards the ceiling. My heel is down. Same kind of thing here. We're inhaling the arms up. As I exhale, I'm just hinging slightly forward. So now I'm feeling a stretch come through the back of the leg. Just holding here. When you're ready, go ahead, release the hands down. Both hands can either reach towards the extended leg or you can place them on the quadriceps and just continue to add that hinge. If you want, one hand can reach towards the toes, whatever feels best for you here. And the only change I'm going to make, I have my heel down, my toes up. I'm just going to point my toes down towards the floor. So I'm getting a little bit of a stretch through the shin. Go ahead, release that, lifting back up, sliding that foot in, and we're just going to switch sides. So now my left foot comes forward, again, toe up, heel down. Inhale the arms all the way up. And as you exhale, go ahead, hinge it forward. Again, as you're holding here, continue to breathe. Always continue to breathe. When you're ready, hands can rest down, again, either onto the quadriceps. Feel free to keep one hand on the one leg, the other hand can reach, whatever you feel best. You always have the support of the chair, so if you ever feel a little unstable, you can always hold on to the chair, make sure that it's not scooting away from you. Once again, with that toe that's lifted, or the toes that are lifted, we're going to take that flexed foot and we're just going to point it down so that we're stretching through the front part of the shin. Once again, upper body is going to lift up. Go ahead, slide that foot in. I'm going to come back to my right leg to start again. I'm going to lift my foot up, or my leg up, just like I did when we were doing those ankle stretches. I'm going to lift. And this time I'm going to turn my knee out to the side so I can take my right foot and bring it up onto the left thigh. So I'm turning my knee out to the side. Some people might not have the hip flexibility here and you might feel like you're in like this. That's okay. You can make sure you're not pressing on the knee, but you can place the hands on the inside of the leg. And you can do some gentle movements this way. If you do have the leg that is able to move out to the side a little bit more, same thing. You might want to place the hand on the inside of the thigh and add just a little bit of gentle pressure, never forcing anything, but sometimes just that gentle movement can kind of help open things up a little bit more. No matter where your leg lands, whether you're able to open all the way up to the side, whether you're lifted a little bit more, doesn't matter. Hands can be placed right onto the thighs. You can support with the hands on the chair. All we're doing here is adding a slight hinge forward. So I'll keep my hands on the chair to show you this way. All I'm doing is just hinging the upper body slightly forward. By keeping my hands on the chair, I feel that support of the chair. I'm a little bit more comfortable, a little bit more stable. If you want, feel free to place the hands again on the inner thigh and on the quadricep. You can continue to add that gentle pressure if you choose. The further you lean forward, the more you'll be feeling that for the outer thigh and hip. So if you're not quite feeling that, even if your leg is lifted a little higher, see if you can lean the upper body a little bit further down towards the floor and you'll feel that stretch come in a little bit more. When you're ready, go ahead, release that, coming back up. And we're just going to release that leg. So all I'm doing is turning the leg back in, releasing down. Switching sides, hands come behind that left hamstring, lifting the leg up. Again, I'm turning the knee out to the side so that I can let that left foot come up onto the right thigh. Again, if you're in a little bit more, that's okay. If you're able to turn the leg out to the side a little bit better, that's fine too. Doesn't matter whichever way you're most comfortable. Again, just holding here. Feel free to add that gentle pressure on the inside of the leg. Again, never pressing onto the knee. Hands can always be onto the chair, again, to help feel that support or feel more supported. And then from here, all we're doing is that soft lean forward. So we're just hinging through the hips. We're not just rounding out the upper body, hinging through the hips as we just bring the whole upper body forward. Again, you can continue with that gentle pressure out if you don't want to, or if the leg is staying in a little bit more, feel free to just let the hands rest down onto the chair as well. Once again, the more you lean forward, the deeper you'll feel that stretch. And as always, continue to breathe. Nice job. When you're ready, go ahead, start lifting back up again. And we're going to take that leg and just release it, bringing back down. We're going to start opening up the legs a little bit wider. So I have them about a little bit wider than hip distance, about the length of my chair. I'm going to inhale, bringing my arms all the way up. As I exhale, I'm going to release the hands down onto the quadriceps. And then I'm going to go ahead and hinge the whole upper body forward here. A little bit of upper body work. I'm going to take my left shoulder over towards my right knee. So I'm just adding a little gentle twist to the one side. And then back through the center. And then bringing that over to that opposite side. Once again, bring that back through the center, switching to that first side again. Back into the center and over to that second side. And back into the center. Nice job. All I'm going to do is close my legs. I'm going to bring them over to one side. So I'm turning my whole body to one side. Instead of being as close to the back of my chair as I can, I'm going to actually come to the front part of my chair so that my right leg, so I'm turned to the left side. So my right leg is not even supported on the chair. So my left leg is supported, my left hamstring, if I want, I can sit back a little bit further, feel a little bit more support that way. It's entirely up to you, but at least the left glutes are going to be on the chair. From here, I'm keeping my left foot in the same position. My hips are going to be squared in this direction, and I'm taking my outside leg, so my right leg, I'm just stepping it straight back here. So that's why I didn't want it to be on the chair. So I had room for it to just kind of drop down and hang here. Getting a nice stretch of the hip flexors. Hands can always support onto that front thigh. If you want, you can always let the back hand, so my left hand can always support on the back of the chair. And then the right arm, if you want, can lift all the way up. Release the shoulder down. This would be a high lunge if we're not using the chair. And still our high lunge supported with the chair. Keeping my hips squared to this direction, all I'm going to do is take my back foot and I'm just rotating it off so that my toes are pointing towards you. Hips are as square to the front as I can. Again, back hand can stay on the back of the chair. Other arm can be up. You can keep the hands down, whatever feels best here. But again, opening up through the hips. Other arm can even lift if you want, just like your warrior one. From here, I'm going to open my hips to the side this time. So I'm opening up towards you. I'm coming into a warrior two. So one arm is extended towards the back. One arm is extended towards the front. Again, my back toes are pointed towards you. My front toes are pointed off towards that front side. Coming into a reverse warrior, I'm going to let my right hand come down from my back leg. My left hand lifts up and I'm opening up here. Great job. Coming back in through warrior two, I'm just going to let my arms float back up. And then I'm going to come into an extended angle. So I'm going to let my left hand come down either towards the thigh, if I feel more supported or more stable. letting the hand reach down towards the floor a little bit more, and my right arm lifts up towards the ceiling. Just holding here, keep breathing, trying to keep everything nice and open to the front here, almost as if I had both shoulder blades back against a wall. Nice job. When you're ready, go ahead, start lifting back up, coming back through warrior two. And then from here, I'm going to take my back leg, putting a bend in the knee and letting the toes rotate out to the side. My left leg is naturally going to want to come back into the center. So now I just have my legs opened up towards the sides, toes are pointed out to the sides, so my knees are in alignment here. This is basically like our wide angle or wide straddle pose. I'm going to inhale, lifting the arms up. As I exhale, I'm just going to release the hands down towards the thighs. And from here, I'm going to start hinging the upper body forward. Again, I have my glutes onto the chair. If you have a slippery floor, just make sure your chair is not going to be moving away from you, but feel free to hinge forward as far as you're comfortable. Hands can even come down towards the floor if you choose. And when you're ready, go ahead, just slowly roll that all the way up. Roll those shoulders all the way back to the top. Once again, we're going to close the legs up and we're going to move it over to the opposite side. So I'm going to bring both of my legs over to the right side. Once again, I'm not sitting all the way to the back of my chair. I'm sitting as close to the front as I can. So I have my right glutes onto the chair. Left side, I can bring my whole hand underneath if I wanted to. So holding here, you still have the support of the chair. My right foot is down. If you're short, I'm kind of short here, so I'm kind of towards the front part of my chair when I'm facing sideways. If I wanted to be more supported with my hamstring on the chair, you can always place some blocks or books underneath the foot so that you have that nice bend in your knee and you feel supported by using the floor as well. So I have my hips over to this side. All I'm doing is taking the outside leg, my left leg, and I'm stepping the foot towards the back, extending the leg all the way out, feeling the hips open up. Again, my hands can rest onto that front quadricep. I can let my right hand come towards the back of the chair to feel supported here. Again, that also helps kind of keep my hips squared this way instead of turning open towards you. My left arm can start lifting all the way up. Again, release the shoulders down. And if you want with that back hand, my right hand, feel free to lift that up as well. So I'm holding in my warrior one, just by adding that gentle turn of that back foot. So now my back toes are turned towards you, but my hips are still turned towards the side here. So holding there, keep breathing. Only change I'm going to make is allowing my hips to come towards you. So I'm opening up to the side or towards the front. Hips are going to be facing towards you this time. My right hand's out towards the front leg, left hand's out towards the back leg. And then moving into a reverse warrior, I'm going to let my left hand or my back hand come down for the back leg. My right arm lifts up. Again, anytime you want, you can always bring the hand to the chair to help support. Keep breathing. When you're ready, moving back through warrior two, so just floating the arms back up. And then we're going to be coming forward this time, letting the right elbow come down, supported on the thigh. If you want, hand can come to the thigh, reaching closer towards the floor if you choose. But main thing is that left hand doesn't reach towards me or towards you, but reaches up towards the ceiling. So we're still opening everything up, squeezing the shoulder blades back. Nice work. When you're ready, go ahead, start lifting back up again. So we're back into that warrior two. Once again, my left leg, my back leg, I'm going to put a bend in the knee so I can turn the hip over towards the side. I'm coming back towards the center. Both knees are coming out towards the side. So I'm going to wide leg straddle here. From here, this time, I'm going to extend the legs out. Again, you have the support of the chair. If this doesn't feel comfortable for you or you feel a little bit unsupported, feel free to put the feet back flat onto the floor, but feel free to let the heels rest down and toes come up if you're comfortable. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, we're just going to slightly hinge forward. Again, hands can come either to the quadriceps, to the chair. Just a gentle lean, doesn't have to be a big lean here. Again, anytime you choose, feel free to let the feet come flat down onto the floor. And then when you're ready, go ahead, release that, lifting back up, releasing the feet back in, closing them back together. And we're gonna come up to a standing position. So now we're gonna start using the chair to help support us in terms of stretching the front leg part of our legs and the back part of our legs. So I'm gonna use the back part of the chair just to help with balance to start. I'm gonna take my outside leg. Again, we'll hit both legs, so it doesn't matter which side you start off with. I'm gonna take my right foot, just put a bend in the knee. Hands gonna reach back for the toes. If you want, you can reach for the pant leg, back, anything that's most comfortable for you. Just gonna pull that heel up so that my goal is to have my knees in line with each other, so that my knees not popping forward, it's not coming all the way back, but everything is perfectly aligned here. If you can't get your hand or even your sock or pant leg to help hold here, feel free to use your chair, so that I would turn it in towards the chair and I would just let my foot kind of rest here. And I would just do a little bit of a dip here so that I am still getting that quadricep stretch. So again, just hold there for a few moments. Feels if you're tucking the hips underneath, getting a little bit of a deeper stretch here. Good. Go ahead, release that. We're just going to switch sides. So I'm just going to step over to the opposite side here. Same thing. I'm going to bring the outside foot up, knee points down. Again, not pressing forward, not out to the side, not towards the back, but trying to keep the knees as in line with each other as you can. Once again, if I can't grab onto my sock, my pant leg, whatever it is, I can always turn in towards the chair, let the foot rest up. I can still hold on here and do a little bit of a dip, and I'll still be getting that stretch for my quadricep. So any level is welcome to feel that stretch. Great work. All right, go ahead, release that down. We're going to be coming towards the back of the legs this time. I'm going to start back on my right leg. Again, we're going to hit both sides, so it doesn't matter which side you start with. But I'm going to take my right leg, and all I'm doing is bringing it up onto the middle of the chair. You can be towards the front of your chair, side of your chair, wherever you choose. I just want to make sure that you're able to see, so that's why I'm to the side. But you can always support with the hand onto the chair. So my hips are going to be square to the front part of my chair or to where my foot is placed. And all I have is my toes up, my heels down, similar to what we did when we were sitting. I'm going to inhale, lifting my arms up. And then as I exhale, I'm going to reach it forward. Again, hand can rest down to support on the chair. Other hand can reach towards the toes. I can just hold here. Hands can come to the seat of the chair, wherever you feel most supported or you feel like you're getting that stretch that you need without forcing yourself into it. With all of these stretches, make sure that you're not locking the leg. A soft bend in the knee is fine, even for your standing leg. Now from here, I'm going to face away from you for a moment. We're going to start bringing it back up to standing. I'm going to face away from you because all I'm doing, I'm keeping this foot in the same position, but with my back foot, again, you can always support holding onto the chair. I'm going to lift my heel and then add a little bit of a pivot. Then I'm going to take my toes, turn them out. So basically I have my toes facing, my left toes are facing the back wall. My right toes that are on the chair are still in that same position. So now I'm in like what would be a triangle pose if we were standing using a mat in yoga. So we feel that stretch to the inner thigh. From here, same thing, I'm going to inhale, bringing my arms all the way up. As I exhale, I'm going to let my right hand reach down either for the quadriceps. I can reach for the shins, never pressing directly onto the knee. I can always hold onto the chair. And my left arm is either going to lift up towards the ceiling or reach over towards that side as well. Again, you can even reach towards the seat of the chair, wherever you feel most comfortable. When you're ready, go ahead, start bringing that back up. All we're doing is releasing that foot down. So I'm just going to bend in the knee, letting that foot come down. Go ahead, feel free to shake the legs out a little bit. Notice how one leg feels a little bit more lengthened than the other. We're going to do the same thing on that opposite side. So I'm going to come over, actually I'm going to stay on that same side. so that I'll be facing you this time. So my left leg is coming up right into the center. My hips are squared in that same direction. Toes up, heels down. Inhale, lifting the arms all the way up. As you exhale, go ahead, hinge it forward. Again, let the hands rest down wherever you're comfortable, onto the thighs, onto the shins, not onto the knees. Feel free to support with the hands on the seat of the chair, on the back of the chair, any combination, whatever, again, feels best for you, feeling lengthened through that hamstring, calf muscle. Once again, I'm going to start lifting that back up. And then from here, all I'm doing is keeping my left leg in that same position. My right heel, again, you can hold on to help support. My right heel is going to lift so I can pivot over towards you. My right toes are turning, and then I'm just making sure that my hips are turning towards you. My left foot is still in that same position though, so I'm not turning my foot towards you. I'm keeping the heel down, toes up, but the hips are as square to you as I can. From here, I'm inhaling the arms all the way up. As I exhale, my left hand is reaching down for the left leg. Again, either the quadriceps, shins, if you can or want, reaching for the toes, reaching for the chair in any area that feels best. My right arm that's lifted can either lift up towards the ceiling or it can reach all the way over. As always, keep breathing. Nice job. When you're ready, go ahead, lift that back up again, releasing the hands down. Again, when you're ready, go ahead, take that foot off the chair, gently shake the legs out. And I'm going to offer you to come to the back of your chair. I'm going to go ahead and turn my chair to the side so you can see from this angle. All I'm doing is placing my hands, actually just like the palms of my hands, down onto the chair. I don't want to pull the chair towards me, so I don't want to make sure that it's just my fingertips and I'm pulling it. But just placing the hands onto the chair. I'm going to walk the feet back as far as I want or feel comfortable. And then once I'm ready, I'm going to let the hips just kind of float back as I let the upper body come down. Even if the head and neck relaxes a little bit lower, feel free. Again, make sure you're not pulling the chair down towards you, so we're not bending the elbows. We're just keeping everything nice and lengthened here. Sometimes if we're in a little bit too close, we have that bend in the elbows, we start rounding the back. So again, don't be afraid to walk the feet back and to let the hips just sink back and let the whole upper body rest down. You should feel a nice stretch, lengthening through the spine, lengthening through the back of the legs, stretching between the chest, shoulders, upper back. And when you're ready, go ahead, release that. We're just going to start walking the feet back in again. And then from here, you can go ahead and take a seat into your chair. We have a few final stretches here. Again, just working with the upper body. So coming to wherever you're comfortable and feel supported, again, as best you can, having the feet down onto the floor so we're not just leaning back here. And the hips aren't so far back that you feel like you can't let the legs relax or feel supported by the ground. So just holding here, again, shoulders stay nice and low. Taking those nice deep breaths. We're going to come into a rounded cat and cow pose. So my hands are down onto my thighs. All I'm going to do is start rounding the spine out. So I'm letting my chin tuck. Each part of the spine kind of rounds back. And then from here, I'm coming back through that neutral spine position, letting the shoulders rest down. And I'm going to almost reverse that. So I'm kind of letting my belly come out towards you, arching my spine back, and my gaze can move up towards the ceiling. So I'm kind of making a little C going towards the back. Once again, rounding everything out, coming in to see the opposite way. Chin tucks down, stretching between each part of the spine. Release that, coming back through that neutral spine position. And then again, letting the belly come forward, arching the spine back, gaze can move up. And then go ahead, release that, coming back into that neutral spine position. From here, all I'm going to do is take my right ear, bring it over to the right shoulder. Again, we're going to hit both sides, so feel free to do whichever side feels best for you. If I have my right ear to the right shoulder, I'm just going to let my left hand release down to the side. You might feel that stretch come through a little bit deeper. From here, I'm going to start letting the arm float up. Doesn't have to be all the way at shoulder height, just slightly up here. Feeling that stretch, kind of releasing down through the arm. Taking that same hand, so I have my left hand out. I'm going to take my left hand, reach towards the back of the chair. If you want, you can even give a little grip onto the chair if you so choose. Again, making sure the shoulder stays nice and low. Don't let the shoulders sink up. You're trying to reach. Go ahead, release that hand back down again. And then let the chin tuck down. Left hand can come back up onto the thigh. I'm going to go to the opposite side. So I'm going to let my left ear come over towards the left shoulder. Once again, my right hand is just going to release down to the side. When you're ready, go ahead, let that arms float up slightly. Again, doesn't have to be in line with the shoulder, or shoulder height, I should say. When you're ready, go ahead, let that arm move towards the back. Again, if you want, you can feel free to just hold it straight back. If you want, you can reach for the chair and hold there. Again, as you're coming towards the back, make sure you're not reaching and twisting and letting that shoulder come up. Keep the shoulder down, low and away. Go ahead, release the hand back down again. And the chin's going to tuck down. Right hand can come back up onto the thigh. Go ahead, lift that up center. From here, we're going to inhale, bringing the arms all the way up. As I exhale, I'm going to take my left hand on the outside of the right thigh. My right hand is going to reach for the back of the chair. And I'm just adding a gentle twist. Feel free to use the chair to kind of add a little bit more of a twist there. And the hand, again, on the outside of the knee, never directly onto the knee. Go ahead, release that, turning back into the center, and then switching sides. I'm going to inhale, lifting my arms all the way up. And as I exhale, my right hand comes on the outside of the left thigh. Left hand comes behind, reaching for the back of the chair. Again, adding that gentle twist. If you're not reaching all the way towards the back, feel free to let that hand come down onto the seat of the chair, wherever you feel most comfortable. When you're ready, go ahead, rotate back into the center. Then we're going to inhale, lifting the arms all the way up. As you exhale, go ahead, let the right hand come down for the seat of the chair. This time we're going to let the left hand lift all the way up, creating that space once again through the rib cage, and then bring it over towards the side. Reaching as far over as you're comfortable, but at the same time without lifting the hip up. So keeping the hip anchored down into the seat. Go ahead, release that, coming back into the center. Once again, inhale, lifting the arms up, going to the opposite side this time. My left hand's going to come down. My right arm lifts up, again, lifting up out of the rib cage, and then reaching over towards the side. Again, keeping both hips anchored down, not leaning over so much that my glutes are lifting up off of the seat. And go ahead, release that, coming back into the center. From here, we're going to inhale, just bring the arms all the way up. Let the palms come together. Exhale, release down through the center. Do that again. Inhale, lifting the arms all the way up. Exhale, releasing down through the center. One last time here. Inhale, lifting all the way up. Go ahead, exhale, release that down through the center. Namaste. Feel free to hold here for a few more breaths. feel free to work through some of these stretches once again. And anytime you need, feel free to replay this whole 45 minutes. So thank you for taking the time to stretch with me today, and I hope to see you again soon.
Fabulous. Thank you so much. This was, again, a little bit of a variety or a different session. So I do encourage everyone to visit the various sessions from Sandy because they all have something special to offer. We really need this kind of thing. So I really, really am grateful to have you do this for us. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a
Great. Thanks again. Take care, everyone. Thanks so much.